So we'll see. I sent it
That
to
works
both
out
emails
well.
that
Maybe.
she's given me.
That's,
So we'll see if she comes.
Who's that?
you
Jan.
know what? I almost,
Oh,
Jan,
Jan.
I
Wow.
almost didn't watch the episode. I almost didn't watch the episode again because I have seen this episode, these two episodes so many
So
times. I
many
thought, I
times, I
wonder if
know
I
me
could just
too.
wing it.
I've seen
Yeah,
it quite
and
a
the
lot.
thing is, no, there were a few, but there were a few little things I wrote down in my big old notebook here. But
Yeah,
yeah, just
I just
yeah,
found it very
Diane
interesting,
Gabaldon,
in the book,
sadist,
um,
sadist.
how she
Well,
always went, yeah, Blackjack. I think and I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't say anything because it's kind of part of what they do in this episode too, is how he really thought that he could get Jamie to actually enjoy this. I'm like,
Yes,
seriously?
Yeah.
I know
Like,
that
oh
madness, that
my God.
insanity,
I'm like,
well,
yeah,
the
that
madness
line he
is just,
says. I
well,
just wanted this to be.
he made
yeah.
pretend he
What is
was
it?
I
I
just
just
want this to be pleasurable
he
for
kept
both of
telling
us.
us
I'm like, what
pleasurable for
the
both of
hell?
us. It's a little late for that for Jamie because Jamie's in
I'm
agony
thinking,
right now.
really? Do you know
Yeah,
the dude? Do you
yeah.
know this man? I mean, and you keep telling me that he knew. No, you don't know the man if you think that's going
No,
to happen. I'm like, oh my
no,
God.
no.
In his brain,
well.
he really
What?
thought he could do it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was duped because I thought
You were.
all this took place on 15, in episode 15.
Oh,
I
really?
thought,
Huh.
No, no.
No,
Yeah.
we're on the last episode, 16.
yes,
Yeah. Well,
and
they split it up. They split
Oh,
it up.
okay. Hold on,
I
real quick. Kathleen Holland, we are talking about episode 16, the last episode of the first
Yeah.
season.
Okay, we can start
Real
anytime,
quick, she
guys.
was asking, and Kathy's just saying hi, hi, Kathy, hi, very
Hi.
much,
Hi,
hi, Kathy.
Kathy.
hi,
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah,
hi,
we
Hi,
are.
sweet
everybody.
We,
Kathy.
I already started, but we are on episode 16 of the first season. It's our final chat until after Blood of My Blood is done. So I hope everybody's able to join us who
Woohoo.
wants to join us. Um, to ransom a man's soul. Sorry, my brain is blanking, and I have
Man,
to
so
leave
Yes.
for just a second because my dog Bear has decided he wants to go out. So, yes.
we'll
So
talk a
at the
minute.
beginning, I was the only thing
Well,
I was gonna say is the beginning of the episode is the end of his torture, and there
yes.
go from there. I'll be
Yes.
right back.
Which is a very, very interesting way of handling that. The way they did it with
Yes,
flashbacks and
Yeah, with
stuff.
the
it was
flashbacks.
But
Yeah, I
but
found it.
my
You know what I
my
found
thing.
interesting? Can I say one thing? What I found
What?
very interesting in
Yes.
the
Yes.
very
Yes.
beginning of this
Yes.
episode is how they put the
Yes.
discretion thing at the front,
Oh.
right?
Oh,
how they
yes.
put
A
Yes.
what
very
back?
big old discretion. Now, here's what
Yeah.
I
The
thought
rape.
was very
Oh,
The
interesting
yes.
warning.
was how they did Sam's vision of this episode, the whole
What?
discretion, and then when they went back to Katrina's and how they did hers, totally different.
Yeah.
Much more
Yeah.
talk, numbers, and if you're having issues with this, call here. They didn't do none of that with this.
Yeah.
So I just found that interesting. That's all. Just FYI. That's just was wondering
I
if
think
anyone
they
else
were
noticed that.
learning. I think they were learning what to say and what to do, and Katrina came
Yeah.
later. You know what I mean? I
It
think
could
they
be.
were
Yeah.
learning the right
Yeah,
thing to do,
yeah,
and the politically correct thing to do. You know?
I found
yeah.
that just interesting.
Well,
That's all. And Sam did
there
mention that
one of my
if they would do that
yeah.
the same episode now, they would have probably done it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, they would have. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Which
they would
which
have.
I think is wrong because I like the way they did it. But
Yeah, I do
the
too.
thing that impressed me, the thing that impressed me the most, the opening scene, not the very opening scene, but the first one where they pan down to Jamie,
Oh, yeah,
laying on the bed like he's totally hopeless. The
yep,
look in his
Yeah.
eyes is dead. It's dead look.
deadly. Oh my
How
God.
that man with those eyes, managed to make them go dead. That's acting.
It's
His
incredible.
eyes are just alive. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Boom.
But
Yeah.
it just, yeah. Yeah. I
You
think
know,
the way
Right where
they
he's
did
at
this
the
whole,
moment, just by the eyes, I'm like, wow,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
and I
This
Yeah.
is gonna be an
yeah,
ugly scene. This,
may I yeah
Yeah.
may I say something? I have a friend who stopped watching Outlander because of this. She
I've
Really?
heard
didn't
about
watch
that
it
from other
anymore.
people.
I
I've
can
heard
I
other
can hear
people say
that.
that.
I mean, I can understand that from people.
Yeah.
I tried to talk her into going back. I even invited her over,
Yeah,
wine
she
and
should have.
dined
She
her,
should have. Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
still didn't want to do it. She still didn't want to do it.
Well, the
Wouldn't
thing
come
is, this
back.
episode is very important and pivotal because it is a really, impactful moment in everybody's lives,
Right.
obviously.
And especially for
And
Jamie.
there's so
Kind of
much
rules
in
him
this.
around for the rest of his
Yes,
life.
And how
and then they have to come back together in that, the end of it. But
Yeah.
the thing is just his soul is broken and he doesn't want to be a broken man because he's a proud Scotsman,
Right.
it was,
So
I mean, many of us have watched this a a few times, you know. But
I have.
Oh yeah, I have
every time
quite
I
a few
watch
times
it,
actually.
it's more
Me too.
brutal
Mhm.
than the time I watched it before. It just gets more brutal. Brutal.
Then everybody,
That's because you're
you hear the comments, and everyone goes, "Oh, this is the only one that I don't want to watch." I fast forward through it. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Wow,
There's too
this
much
is
important
best
stuff.
actor
Too
the
much.
dude did the whole
Yeah.
series.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
pass
yes.
that up. Oh no!
Well, I mean, and the final, not the next to the final scene with Jamie,
Wow.
not the one on the ship, in the room, when they're coming back together, when she's poured the lavender on him. Am I getting too far ahead? Yes, I am.
Yeah, we haven't even started
Anyway.
the beginning yet. Let's
Oh,
do
well.
the beginning, people.
All we've done so far is
Well, we
pan
did the-
down to Jamie. That's all we've done is
Pan
pan
down
down
to
to Jamie.
Jamie.
That's
Yes,
it.
yes,
I just have to say, I
Which
got to
is-
give the props to Tobias on that because the dude doesn't care
Yes,
about.
yes.
I mean, this is the second time in the series
Nah.
that he's done it. He must be very
He doesn't
comfortable in
care.
his soul. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with that with
Yeah.
Tobias.
Yeah.
He's okay.
And,
He's okay with
and you
it.
know,
He's okay
I
with it.
always have to remember it was Tobias, it was Randall who had full frontal nudity.
Yeah.
in this.
Yes,
It wasn't
yeah.
Jamie.
That's
It
what we
was
were just talking
Tobias.
about. Yeah.
Well, contractually, he was supposed to, but Sam wouldn't do it. He, at the final moment, he asked him to cut the scene. They did it. I would love to see
filmed
that.
it.
If
They
they left
filmed
that
it.
scene on the, if somewhere somebody has that.
They filmed it, but he
Kathy,
pushed
Kathy
back on
Slavic,
that.
Kathy Slavic. Kathy Slavic
Kathy
needs to find
Slavic
that
will
out.
find it.
Anyway.
All right, Kathy.
Yeah, they pushed. He pushed back on
speaking
that.
of
He said
Kathy-
he didn't need to see all that to know how tortured Jamie was.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
That's what he said.
Well, no, and
There's
because
no reason for that. You already know what he did. So
Yeah, I
there's
think
What he did,
Melissa
of
brought
course.
that up
of
last
him
week.
doing
that,
that.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
she did.
Didn't
Yeah,
want everything
yeah.
sexualized in that way, in some
No,
sort of
no,
because that act had nothing to do with sex. It had to do with power,
No.
control,
No.
being
No.
vicious.
exactly.
Right.
And
Just one
yeah,
second. Diane,
sadism.
people are saying that you're very quiet. You're quiet to us too.
We
At
are
least you are
yeah.
to me. If there's a way for you to turn up your mic, please do. If you can't, we understand. I just wanted to let you know.
I'm
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
she's
hearing her
very
okay.
quiet.
Oddly enough.
She's
Yeah.
she is a
I've
little
never-
Well,
quiet,
we-
and when it translates, it's probably quieter than I
have
would
never
like
been
it to
told
be.
that I'm quiet. That's the first time in my whole life that people have told me that I'm quiet.
Yeah, I don't think anybody who's appeared
Lordy,
on
lordy.
here can be called super quiet, except for maybe Melissa and Alex. She was fairly quiet.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, Alex was, but she's new.
There's
Jan.
Hey, what do we-
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry, you guys.
Don't be sorry. You're
I
good.
was
Late.
I was
Here
talking
Right.
talking to my neighbor, just gabbing away.
Didn't know what time it was.
That's right. I'm just a gabber. What can
Yeah.
I say?
It's
Hey.
okay.
And then
Well, that's one
what's
of the-
even sadder is that he looks at BJ and said, "You owe me a debt," because he's like, "Now you need
Yes,
to just kill
yes.
me.
Yeah.
I gave you
Yeah.
what you
Yeah,
wanted.
he wants to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave you what you
And-
wanted. You promised. Now you need to
Don't-
finish." And that,
Don't worry,
you owe
Jan.
me a
We
debt.
haven't made it past the first scene yet, so you're good.
Okay.
The first scene is incredible. I mean, the first
Yes,
scene
sir.
is
We're
just
going
incredible
all
to me.
around. All around. We haven't settled from the beginning to the end. We're
Yeah,
just
she's
sitting
still very
there.
low.
And I just want to say
Yeah, I
that,
can't hear her.
Watching this is all worth watching because of the ending,
Yeah,
because of the rescue.
Basically,
It's all worth
Yes.
watching because of that rescue. That was amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
yes. Absolutely is right.
Guess
Oh,
what-
got a cute doggy. Let me see your doggy.
Yeah, that's my Benny.
Benny. Oh, hey, Benny.
He
Good
watches
dog.
Outlander with too, so if he has any comments, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Bark once if
Yeah.
you liked it.
I got a bottle of gin today.
Oh,
okay.
goody. The Sassenach. The Sassenach. Is it good?
It's Mr. Cutie Pie's gin.
Hmm.
Mr. Cutie Pie's Gin.
Mr. Cutie
That's a
Pie
name
Gin.
he should go by. There we
love
go. Mr.
Yeah.
I call him
Cutie
Stud.
Pie's Gin.
I call him Stud Muffin. Stud
You know
Muffin.
what?
I think that's a good name. Stud Muffin.
I'm thinking maybe I'll go to Kansas.
Yeah, do it. Oh, they're sold out, aren't they?
No.
Oh,
I
they
don't
are?
believe so. No, but you know
Oh, it's-
what? I was gonna save this to the end, but anybody want to know who my special guest is next Monday? If you want to know,
I know. I think I know who it is. Go
No.
ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Is it
tell
the
us.
lady who runs that place? Is it the lady who
Yes,
runs
it's the
the
lady that. Yes, it's the lady
Yes.
or whoever it is?
runs Sassnet, and she's got another one. She's got two that she's going to do, right? Another one.
She
supposedly,
is
Katie?
Miss Gina Hubble. She has added
Yeah, Gina Hubble.
Yep, she's added The Vow, which is the prequels
Okay.
convention. That'll
Right.
be in September.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
I am not purchasing a ticket for that because I am going to be a little bit broke. So,
Yeah, you're gonna have a car. You're gonna have a
that's
Jeep.
just how things are. That's right. I got stuff going on. Well, yeah. Plus, I'm just out of money for conventions right now.
Yeah. Well,
But anyway.
you.
But she's going to be here to ask all of your convention questions because
Good.
I've tried my
What
best
day?
to answer some.
What day?
1 week
Yeah.
from today. 1 week from today.
Oh, okay.
right
Cool.
now.
Cool.
And we
Yay.
we can ask her if she ever hugs him
And what he smells like.
And what
Yeah.
it smells like. Yes, of course.
Oh, we've
Well, I was just
already
gonna say-
established that.
If you're not going to be live but you have
Glad they
questions,
told us
please
late.
leave them in the comments below this review.
There you go.
That way
Yeah.
they're all in
Yeah.
one place and I can just read them off and
Yes.
ask them and then you can look at the video later. Okay, continue. Let's get past the first
Done.
scene
Done.
and Tobias's tallywhacker.
Okay, tallywhacker time. Yeah, and then we have. Oh, the thing is that he's going to cut Sam's throat Jamie's throat for him.
Right.
But then the cows,
Yeah, and he hears
the
noises.
rat.
And he hears noises. He gets up and puts his clothes on, and that's when he kind of tells him, "You owe me a debt." And then he hears
Oh.
kind
Yeah.
of noises, and he's like, "Oh, please don't
And
leave. Just kill me first before you do that."
please.
He's like, "Kill me first before you leave."
Yeah. But the
I
cows
have
are
a I have a
great.
question.
Yeah.
They didn't have scrunchies in 1744. You know, I mean, what the heck is he talking?
He was
He
using
puts
a
his hair
leather
back.
strap.
He's using a scrunchie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
leather
looks
strap.
like a scrunchie.
It's a leather
Yeah, I
It's a
was
scrunchie.
wondering the same thing,
I
Cynthia.
believe it's a leather strap.
I know that's what it's supposed to be.
I
Huh?
was thinking rubber bands. Maybe I don't know if they had
No,
rubber bands back
The
then.
way he
No,
put
they
it
did not have
on, they
I
didn't.
have a
No, that's just it. Yes. You have an
Okay.
answer?
So in the very, very beginning of this episode, where they have the name of the episode, what
Right.
the heck are those three things?
I was wondering. One of it's the oil, that lavender oil.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
What
not
was-
sure what the other two
What
are.
was
One
What-
of them
what were the other
was
two?
kind of a beaded
One looked
chain.
like pearls. Weren't they
a
pearls?
beaded chain?
They weren't pearls. No,
No, they were not pearls.
no, they're not pearls.
They were string something. They were
Was it the
string
ro-
something,
I
wasn't
don't
it?
know.
Oh, like a rosary? Maybe it was a rosary.
Oh,
From the
that's a
priest.
thought, possibly.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
it-
the
yeah,
priest
because-
rosary, I bet you.
See-
The next time when you're looking, share that with Katie, because I'm
yeah.
interested to see what they are, because
All
I
right.
could not tell. But
I'm thinking
Okay.
it might be his
Good.
rosary
It's the lavender.
I think it's
and the
his-
lavender
Oh,
oil,
yeah.
but I don't know what the other thing is.
The rosary his sister gave him.
Right, and the
Well, that was
lavender
later,
oil, I don't know what the other thing is. What's the other thing?
Yeah.
There,
I can't remember what it is.
Mm-mm.
I can't
Yeah, I
either.
can't remember the
It,
third thing. Well,
it
Oh,
looked
well.
like maybe it was a knife that was closed. That's what it kind of looked like
Hmm.
to me.
Maybe
I don't know.
That's kinda symbolic.
The razor. Maybe Tobias's or not
Oh,
Tobias's,
oh,
but
the
maybe
razor.
Blackjack's
Yeah,
razor.
yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
But if you can look at it, Cynthia, because
Yeah,
you're
I'll-
good at this stuff.
Good.
Oh, yeah,
what
sure.
you think. Okay.
I will. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
looking
What? Okay. What happened? Oh, the cows. Let's talk about cows. Oh, I'm sorry, Diane.
No, I was going to say I'm looking at it right now. I'll check it out.
Okay.
When
Oh, thank
stop,
you. You're a sweetheart.
I'll put it on hold and I'll look at
You're
it.
a sweetheart.
If I-
Yeah. So
I'll
anyway,
describe
the
it.
It's really interesting because it's usually everything that's, in that scene, that they do every time,
right.
it has a
Mhm,
lot to
mhm.
do with the episode. And I
Right.
just could not make it out.
You're right.
Huh. Okay. No, that it's a little.
So-
It's yeah.
Okay, so
It's
you
tokens
guys
of
are up to the point where the cows come.
with.
Cows come.
We're right at the cows. We're right at the cows. The door has not fallen on Blackjack yet.
So
It is next.
That happens. He goes to the door. The door opens. He gets crushed by the cows. They
We wish.
and they go in and see Jamie on the floor, just totally battered
Okay.
and beaten.
Yes, and the look in Rupert's eyes,
Right.
when he
Yeah.
in that scene, that's the thing that I focused on, was the expression on Rupert's face when he's looking at Jamie on the floor,
Yeah.
because it is just like they can look and they can see what happened,
Yeah.
and this is the man, and that
Right.
I thought that was a really good bit of acting right there myself. I like that.
So they
Oh,
take
yeah,
him
'cause-
out, they put him in the wagon, and they really ride off pretty much.
Right. Yes.
I just found it very,
Yeah.
it gives you kind of the tale of what's going to happen to come, because he doesn't, he looks at Claire and all he sees is BJ, right?
He sees. Yeah,
And
because
goes,
and his
goes off. So it kind of gives you a foreshadowing on what he's going to tell
Right.
him and how that all thing
Yeah.
happened just by that.
Yeah.
little clip right
Yeah.
there. You're like, oh yeah,
Well,
here we go.
Well, he
I
was
thought it
he was
interesting. I thought it was
What?
interesting that they didn't show it, but that Claire didn't make them take her. Because she misbehaved so many times.
Well,
And and they were able to go grab him without her.
Oh,
with
she
them.
would no. They weren't gonna. She was not appropriate for a raid on a prison. No, that would have
but
not have
convincing
worked
her
at all.
that was the case was
Yeah.
the tricky
Yeah.
bit that they did not
Well,
show.
So then they showed her little antsy self in her pants in the middle of the road, watching
They're
Yeah.
waiting,
wagon
Right.
come.
And
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for the
And
wagon.
she
If
looked
only-
very
if
good
I
in
only
those
had a
pants.
shape
She looked
like
very,
her,
very good
gosh.
in those pants, I must say.
Yeah, well,
She looked really
I-
very, very nice. But I don't think she wanted to go back there. She was there long enough when she went through there. I'm sure.
Yeah,
She didn't want to
yeah.
I don't
No.
think anything would have stopped her from going to get Jamie. So, they left that out, but I just thought it was not her character. She would have, told him that, by God, he's my husband and I'm
Yeah.
not listening. But anyway,
Well,
I just,
she-
that was a thought.
Well,
So-
I think it was a wise decision for her not
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a
less
wise
to people to have to deal with, less people to have to worry about.
Yeah.
We'll go in and out quietly
Okay,
without everybody,
so- Okay, so they realize, kind of, Claire kind of realizes, with the look that he gave
Mhm.
her, that he is not in a good place.
No, yeah, right,
No.
And they end up at the monastery.
Right.
Yeah, see, this is where it's different from the book. Because, like I said, I was
Mhm.
just telling these guys before we started that I was listening to this particular chapter in the book. They
Yeah.
wait until they go to France in the book to do this whole
Mhm.
thing. And
Yeah.
it's a whole
Right.
different thing. Yeah.
Oh,
But
And
really?
it-
I don't mind that they did that.
And they're,
Worked for me.
they're there for aren't they there for 3 months or something, 3 or 4 months in
Yeah,
France?
they're there for
working
a
on
long
him?
period of time. And it
A long
doesn't
time, yeah.
show
Yeah.
this.
Before he finally tells her what happened. Yeah.
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 For the
Yeah.
case of having a good breaking point for the season and the first Droughtlander,
Mhm.
that was kind of
Right.
perfect the way they said, all right,
Yeah,
let's
it
watch
was.
They did
this
it.
together.
The
a
way they
little.
did it was good. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
So-
they wanted the second season fresh. So that's why they did that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
in the book,
yeah.
there's no monastery in the book. There's
No, there is, but it's in France. It's in France,
France.
not in
Yeah.
Scotland.
Oh, the
It's in
mon-
Yeah,
France.
they've already crossed the boat in the
Yeah.
book before all this happened.
Yeah.
That they tell the story, yeah. And they just condensed it and put it here instead of over there. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of mishmashed all the things together. Well,
Yeah.
we're not to that scene yet, but the one scene that I thought was really, you know which one I mean, Katie, because I
Yeah.
started to talk about it last night. And you told me to shut
I
up.
was like, I was like, save it for tomorrow, Cynthia.
Save it for tomorrow. Well, we might just skip right over it. Great, we're going. I tell you.
So here's the
trying to
part
look for
now is
something
when they start doing, he's at the monastery and doing all of that. She
Yeah.
realizes how battered he really is.
Yeah.
I mean, she
Yeah.
looks at him. It's like,
Yeah.
what did he do to you? You know what I mean? She asked him, what did he do to you?
Well, and the
And-
thing is it's pretty evident from the wounds
Not
The
enough.
wounds,
and the blood.
yeah.
And
Too
Yeah,
much
what he
of
did,
that.
yeah.
and in the book, he actually read.
The line that Jamie gives too. What does he say? I'm sure Jackie, you know it. She asked
that?
him, "What did he do to you?" And he said, "What is it?"
Too much and not
he
enough.
sees
Too much, but not
too
enough.
much and not enough. Too much and
Too much
not
and not
enough.
enough.
Because he
much
wanted.
is just horrible.
Because he
I
didn't
agree.
kill
Too
him.
much
Because he
enough.
didn't kill
Because
him.
he didn't
Mhm.
kill him at
Yeah.
the end. That's
Yeah.
why he said not
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
That
Right.
He
just
didn't do it honor.
made my heart. You know, I
Mention
told
that
you,
enough.
Katie, I have such a hard time
You and me both,
differentiating
hon.
between
I watched it
reality.
again and I put it off until the very last minute. I was
I did
like,
too. Last night I
Which?
watched it.
What? Oh, the whole
this
episode?
Yeah,
episode. I mean, I
and
literally
the
have
Yeah.
whole
seen it
yeah
20
the whole
times, but
episode. Yeah.
Me too.
it's
Oh,
still
God.
hard every time.
Okay.
But it was,
This
you know,
sound.
it's so hard. It's so hard to see, you know, as much as I love, you know, Sam and everything, and to see what he supposedly goes through. I had to remind myself so
Oh,
much.
it's horrific. It's horrific. And
Well,
the thing
first,
is, but it's real. It's out. You know, basically, it synopsizes what happened in the book, and you know, it's part of the whole story. What were you gonna say, Diane?
I was just going to say, for me, I watched it a few times, and for me, the more I watched it, the more brutal it appeared.
Yeah.
And I noticed more details the more times I watched it, and it just
Right.
seemed more brutal every
Yeah.
time I watched it.
Yeah.
It was really,
Yeah.
and there were many
I
different things that I noticed that you
yeah.
don't notice until you watch it over and over, and you see the
One thing I
little
did
details.
notice
Well,
was the symbolism. Did you guys
yeah.
notice the symbolism in this whole thing when they go back to the flashback of him finally letting him the nail out of his
Random.
hand, that whole thing.
Oh, the
and
nail out of it. Yeah.
and he
Okay.
puts him on his lap almost, and he's
Yes.
naked.
No.
He goes, "You are a
You
beautiful
know.
thing." I'm like, "Oh my
You
God,
know.
my God, you're a
You know.
you're a magnificent creature." And I'm like, "Well, that's about the only thing I
Yeah.
can say that I agree with." That's it. Because he even
No,
says
it
that
is.
you are a magnificent creature.
Yeah.
I love that whole
And
scene.
there-
It's just
Yes.
incredible to me.
And there was
And he kind of almost
That's
baptizes him with the water. I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah. Yeah. No, it did.
that thing with the lavender oil was so weird.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
But it-
that was the
yeah.
weirdest. That
That whole
freaked
symbolism
me
with
out.
the water and
I
Christ
forgot-
on the
Yeah,
cross.
no,
and he just
the thing
does
is
that whole thing. It's like,
What I
whoa,
want to, Jackie, did you know that line
crazy.
was made up? It was ad libbed.
Oh, I'm sure it was ad-libbed by Tobias.
No,
'Cause
he
he's amazing.
Yes, he's
Totally.
amazing. And the other thing he did, there's that one scene before
He's amazing.
before he brands Jamie. That one scene
What
he
was
gets
that?
up.
Hey, you're
One
getting
scene
too
before.
far ahead.
I'm sorry.
Actually,
I'll back up.
Well, that part, yeah. The part I'm talking about is where we're at right now, actually.
Yeah. Right.
What,
I'm
Cynthia,
frightfully
what
ahead
was-
of you
what was
guys because
that
I'm at
bit?
Claire's confession, so I'll just go push pause for
Oh.
a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Push pause.
We're not quite there yet.
I skip Claire's confession after the first 5 times of watching it. I just
I
skip it.
really like
Because
it,
it's
but
like-
I like it better in the book. I like her confession in the
Yeah, in the book is better.
than
Yes.
In the
Yes.
book is better. Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's still,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I still love the priest. I don't care. I love his.
I do
reaction,
too.
But yeah,
No, he
And
was a.
you know
good.
what?
I liked him,
That
yes.
guy plays the worst characters. He always plays.
He does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
plays
evil
some
guy.
creepy old-
Murderer.
he's never
But-
a good guy.
But he did a great job. He did a
So
great job
weird.
as the abbot. Yeah, yeah.
Great job here.
You know,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what he played. You're gonna die. Okay.
I forget. I know I've seen
Game of
it.
Thrones.
Yes.
Really?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but he's
And
not a
he
big, huge
plays-
part.
He plays that weirdo priest, like in the Game of Thrones.
Yes,
He's a
You
is.
remember
typecast.
that?
Yeah.
You mean the priest who was in the confession, who she confessed to? That
Yes.
guy?
Is in
That
Game of
guy
Thrones.
is in
Mhm.
Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Weird,
Ah.
weird looking.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
okay, so
Wow.
where are we, Jackie?
Well, I was just saying that whole confession thing was, I mean, not the
Oh, yeah,
confession, but
confession.
him, like baptizing him in
Yes.
the water and telling
Yeah.
him that. So, and then he tries to kiss him, and he's like, he just lays there, like, I'm not going to
No.
Oh, God,
participate.
that was so
You can do what you want,
Yes.
but I'm not going to
Yeah.
participate in that. And
Yeah.
then he kind of pulls his head and said, what, I can have her back here in a minute. He goes, so that's what you plan on doing?
Yeah.
Laying here like Christ on the
Yeah.
cross. I'm like, oh, first
Right.
you baptized, dude. Now you're talking about Christ
Yeah.
on the cross.
Or what is he? What's he say? Don't play the worm. Don't play the worm. You know when he's trying to jack him
Yeah.
off. And
I'm like, yikes.
no, it is that part of it, and the acting on Sam's part was fantastic through that whole thing, because he's got to show the disgust and the shame and
When he
whatever,
puts
you know,
his
he's
when he
feeling.
puts his hands in between
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
pushes his
Tell me.
knee, I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh my gosh.
Well, he
Don't
even
do
said
that
Mhm.
to
during that whole
Sam.
session when he was doing that, he goes,
Yeah.
"I want this to be
Yeah.
pleasurable for both of us." Do you really think that he actually thought he was going to make him that he was going to be okay with that? You don't know
Yes.
Jamie
Yeah.
very well, then, if you
Horrible.
think that.
Have you looked at his left hand lately? You know, have you
Yeah,
looked
I'm
at his
just
left
like,
hand?
how?
Yeah.
There's no how. No, I don't.
How does he think that?
No.
In his own
Because
Because
he's a
he's
brain,
insane.
master.
and he
He's
said it out
insane. He's
loud.
insane.
Yeah.
Insane people think weird things.
Well,
Yeah.
he's a
Oh my
masochist.
Okay.
So,
And
but
the
that
whole
was
fondling thing
horrible.
was just, I
And
just can't imagine.
that's
And
when
I
he,
always wonder when they do that whole fondling, how many takes they had to do that.
Yes.
yeah.
And the whole
Well, don't worry.
look
They
on Sam's face was
yes,
just incredible. I'm like,
yes.
how many takes did they have
I
to
know.
do that? And he still had to go
Yeah.
there. I'm like, oh
Yep.
Lord have
That
mercy.
that scene, and
Mm.
you're gonna have to help me, guys, because I can't remember exactly
What?
where this scene is. You have to help me with this scene.
Huh?
But the scene where it opens up and Claire is already with him, of course. And it's the scene where they come up on Sam and he looks like somebody has just beat the shit out of him, and he's laying on on that bed, and then
Right.
all of a sudden Jack, just the camera kind of goes up, and then there's Jack right beside
No,
him.
I'm
That's
with
at the
you.
very
It's
beginning.
misplaced. It's No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So at the very beginning, we see Jamie laying down, abused. It's
Right.
all over.
Right.
Tobias
Right.
gets
Right,
up.
that's
and
Like
he's
he's
gonna-
dead. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But later on in the episode, again, we see Jamie laying down, beaten up,
Mhm.
and we see him looking at Tobias washing himself.
Washing
So-
himself. That's
Yes.
later.
How many
Yeah.
are we supposed to be getting the impression on the television that they'd already had multiple acts other than the violent
Yes.
ones
Yes.
under
Yes.
the table?
Yes.
No,
And
that-
in there,
That to me is what they were
I
hinting.
think-
They were hinting that. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
They
I
hinted
think
at that.
In the book, they do. In the
Like
book, he does
Yeah.
more than
Yes.
Yeah.
once.
right?
Oh, yeah.
but I mean,
And-
again, time moves so differently on the show, and it's
Yes.
difficult
Show,
to
it
gauge
does.
Yeah.
what they're
Yeah.
skipping, and
Yeah.
and what,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is a time element I'm
Well-
missing. So, thank you for
Yeah.
bringing that
Yeah.
up,
Well,
because that bugs me every time I watch it too.
You're welcome. It just, you kind of forget where you are, because she's having flashbacks,
Mhm.
She's hearing the
during all
story
this,
from
and you
him.
kind of forget where you are, because
Right.
it's her
Yeah.
really seeing. We're seeing the whole episode practically through her eyes.
Right.
So
Mhm.
Because
sometimes it's
after the whole fondling thing, it
hard.
goes back to Claire again and Jamie
Yeah.
at the monastery again, and her trying to
Right.
do his hand and wanting to give him laudanum because
cannot-
and he doesn't want anything. He goes, "I don't care what you do.
No.
I don't care." He
You-
goes, and
yeah,
that's when
you
he
can't-
says, "He made me crawl. He made me beg. He wanted me to be dead." I mean, I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Jamie."
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That
at one
whole
point in
scene right
time, he
there just
says,
made me cry.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh."
and then he said, then he says, you
He
cannot
also
save, you
says-
cannot save a man that doesn't
Man
want to be
doesn't wanna be
saved.
saved.
You
Yeah,
cannot
that's
save
what I
him.
was gonna say. That was so sad.
I just
almost-
cried.
Yes, it
every
was.
time I
Feel
hear
it.
Yeah.
that,
Feel his pain
I
when
Yeah.
he
want
said
to
that.
cry.
You know what?
Made me want to cry.
I just wish we had subtitles for the Scottish. I mean, I've looked it up online what they were saying
there's a whole thing that
because they
tells you,
didn't. Yeah, but the thing is I don't memorize it when I see it. I don't have that kind of a mind.
Right. I wish they would have
And
done
so it's just
subtitles,
like,
too.
yes, they should
I don't
after
know why
the
they
fact.
didn't.
Wait.
After the-
We have a couple
Well-
of Gaelic speaking viewers here. All right, homework. Vicky and folks, we need translations.
Go do it.
Come on, or point us to a good link that'll.
Yeah.
Us the
Yeah, that was too
translations.
bad that
Well,
they
you know,
didn't
you
put it
can-
on there, but
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah.
It could have been a situation, where they talk about sometimes they just kind of say gibberish, and it might have been gibberish too.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't gibberish. They actually the thing is that Murtaugh and Jamie are having some very important moments and discussions, and it's very important to hear those, because when you go online and look them up, it's like, oh my God, why didn't they show this in the show? This is important, just what he's saying, because he's basically telling Murtaugh he doesn't want to live.
He wanted
So
Well,
to
we
live,
find that out.
send Claire
you don't
away,
remember
make
what
her
they
go
said.
away.
Right.
when you looked
Does
it
the
up?
book, does the
Sweet.
book tell you
I,
what they're
I,
saying?
yeah, the book tells you. The book
Yeah, the
tells you.
book gives you the conversation.
Yeah, the book tells you. Yeah,
Yeah, the book does.
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
book is-
remember that. I don't remember that in the book.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember like the idea of what he's trying to find out
Yeah.
how he's feeling. He's saying he feels awful
Yeah.
because of everything,
Yeah.
and that he doesn't want to be
Right.
there anymore. And
He doesn't want
I
to
mean,
live.
he's
He doesn't want to
yeah,
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's basic. But I mean, the cadence of the conversation, you miss out on it because we don't know what the hell they're saying.
Well, and
Yeah,
then
I know, that's
and
what
then
made me
Murtaugh
sad that they didn't.
and Murtaugh says, "What about Claire?" You know, because what I do remember of the translation is he's saying, "What about Claire? What about
You're gonna
he
leave Claire
talks
alone?
about
You're
her
gonna
Well,
leave her
mind."
a widow?
you hear him
Yeah,
say Claire.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, you hear that. Yes, you do. But you look it up online, you'll find out the whole thing. They have all of them. They have the one with Willie, the little bit with Willie when he comes in.
Really?
You know,
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm cutting my face off. So we're kind
What?
of at the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Don't do
cut
that.
my face off.
Don't do that.
So we're kind of
Don't
at
do
the
that.
point where the priest basically comes to Claire and he says something about Jamie's physical being is doing really well, but
Right,
he
right,
says maybe his mind cannot be healed.
right.
And then he says something about
Mer-
like the dark side, something
Well-
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
Murtaugh
so-
says you'll have to go to the dark space with
Yeah.
him.
Yes, going exactly.
So-
Murtaugh.
Murtaugh gives her
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
idea that she has to do something because Jamie
Yeah.
is saying he wants to die.
She has to.
Right.
She has to break through. She has
Yeah.
Well,
to
and she
break
has,
through
and
somehow.
he tries to get Willie to do it. I mean, that's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Claire
Yeah, he
finds
wants-
out about it is
He-
poor
my
Willie.
knife.
He wants the blade. He wants that blade.
Give me the
Yeah,
blade
poor
to
Willie. He's
Take
such a
myself out of
sweetheart.
this
Yeah.
black misery, he says. This
Mhm.
black misery. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, as from a character.
Jamie is still not eating, and Murtaugh has that discussion with her also.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
she passes out basically, and he says, if it gets too bad, I will not
That-
allow Jamie
No.
to.
To die, die like
to
a wounded
die.
animal or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
what?
Right.
And, all of
when-
us can
when you were
definitely
watching-
see, that
Yeah.
Murtaugh
when
would do that, to help Jamie because he loves him that much.
When, we-
Of course.
when you were watching this for the first time and Claire was throwing up all the time.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
anybody think that
Oh, she's pregnant.
ever-
Well, not at the time. Not the first time, no.
Not at the-
Not the first
And-
time, no.
I
No, but we
as
all
somebody
had
who's gotten
hindsight.
knocked
We
up
all have
4 times
hindsight.
on accident. It's always where my brain goes when I see a woman
But
throw up.
when you
I
watch this
cannot
the
help
first
it.
time, that's not where it went. For me, the first time it was because she was so distraught of how he was and what she
Yeah.
just had to do with his
After
hand.
That's what I
That
thought.
kind of made me
Well,
think
that-
that's what she was throwing
And
up
I
about
figured
the first time.
that's-
Well, and that and the
And they
fact
kind
that
of
she
give you
spent
that
hours.
premise. Right.
That and she spent hours trying to fix him. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Right.
what she had to do because she could have been caught. That's what I thought. It just
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
think
got
it
her
was
whole emotions
exhaustion.
and her whole and that's why she
Exhaustion,
was
yeah.
throwing- I mean, she had a lot of nerve. What she did, who could do what she did? Go to the warden and try to
Yeah,
talk him.
Yeah.
With the things she did
Well-
was so, she was
Yeah.
like that. Try anything,
But see, the
And-
second
Right.
time she,
growing up.
the second
Yeah.
time,
Second time
gets
she threw
sick,
up. Oh, no,
Katrina
first time she
spends
threw
the
up,
whole
yeah.
time holding her stomach, but she's not.
Yeah.
I saw that.
The way we hold our stomachs when we're sick, it's placed gently
Yeah.
over. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if you all did this at some point.
The
when you were
baby.
pregnant.
The
You're like,
baby.
I'm protecting it, and
Uh-huh.
that's just very familiar. So
She knew.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
knew at that time.
Of course she
Yeah.
I
did.
don't
Of
think
course
he
she
did.
did.
That character knew she knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she-
Okay, so
Totally.
now we're kind of at the point where we have that really awful scene.
We're back at the
Um,
flashback again.
Yeah,
I
a
don't want to do the
flashback.
flashbacks.
That's the
And-
flashback
The rape?
part.
It's with
Okay.
Yeah.
of course Jamie and Jack, and
Uh-huh.
you're like, you know what's coming, and
Uh-huh.
because we've seen it, before. I hate this scene.
Oh, you mean the
And
one
he
about
does
the
that
lavender
thing
oil?
with he lets
No,
his
no,
hair
the scene,
down.
no,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
that
letting his
scene.
hair
Oh,
down. You see Claire.
Yeah, that's the
That's the
lavender oil.
time.
That's
yeah.
the
That's
At
lavender
the,
not
po-
Jamie actually kind of gave himself over to
over
not
thinking
having
about
Jamie,
pain.
Claire,
That
and that's what he was
Jamie's
doing.
hallucinating.
Yeah,
Jamie is
Well,
right.
hallucinating in pain. He's
well,
hallucinating,
and
and Blackjack plays on that. He
he's
plays
using
on that,
yes,
that
and
and
he
it's
was
using
selling
Claire
and
to
him.
get what he
it
wants
Feeling
from
was
him.
Claire.
and
He was selling him.
it's
So that's
Stockholm,
how he got rid
Stockholm
of
syndrome.
Jamie.
Yes, yes,
That's how
yes.
Jamie
How he got
cooperated.
what he wanted.
That's
And that's what it
that's the
talks about
only
in the
way.
book. I was just listening to
Yeah.
that, and it talks about that, how he was using Claire to
Yes,
get what he
Claire.
wanted from
Mhm.
Yes.
Jamie.
Yes,
So he would
yes,
hallucinate that this was
yes,
Claire,
Yeah.
this is your
yeah,
wife, and then he'd make him pain again, and then he'd come back to the whole
yeah,
pleasure part of
yeah,
using Claire to get
yeah.
what he wanted from him. And that's why he
Right.
kept having a hard time looking at her, because every time he'd
Mhm.
look
hmm
at her, he would see
He
that.
remembered.
Because
He
that's what he
remembered.
used to
Yes.
get what he wanted
And
from
that
him.
was
Yeah.
after he was rescued. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Right.
When he was
Right.
rescued, he would
Yeah.
see Blackjack instead of Claire. And that's
He
And
was
like
a,
when
Blackjack was
you know,
jealous of Claire.
Jamie blamed
What does she
himself
have
more
on
than he
you?
should have. Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh hell
well.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh hell yeah.
Totally
absolutely.
jealous.
Don't
And
many.
But
I mean,
huh?
many
Are we all
folks
jealous
who
of Claire?
are
No.
attacked in that way.
that,
I'm pretty sure there's a
Yeah.
lot of blaming
I
yourself
mean,
for.
I
Yeah.
I you know
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, always. Yeah.
Always.
I think that the show did an amazing job of this episode.
I did too.
Yes,
oh
they
my
did.
God,
They
I think Sam
showed
Ewan's best acting is on
they
this
unbelievable.
episode.
showed
I do.
they
That's just
showed
mine.
Yeah.
a human being taken over by a madman.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And it didn't make any difference he was a man or a woman.
Yeah.
It
No.
was the
No.
experience
And what?
Yeah.
this man had
Yeah.
being raped.
Yeah.
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 And
And
how
mentally beaten.
And the
yes.
Yeah.
And it was
Well, and physically beaten
Yeah.
too. He was
Physically beaten.
in the
and
book.
the
He cuts him. Remember, he cuts him somewhere
He
with
cuts
a
him
knife.
from
Yeah.
chest to he cuts him
Yeah.
and licks
Yeah.
it. That's what I just got done
Yes.
listening to. I'm like,
Yes.
oh
Yes.
my goodness.
I know. He's so
Really? I'm like,
such a
oh
perv. No.
and the
no. Just
and
crazy.
the
Well,
Well,
Diane, I can't.
Being done by
What
Tobias
is
in this at all. Okay,
Oh,
go ahead.
oh, his tongue. Yeah, his tongue's out a lot in this episode. That's
then that
you know.
line that he says, "Are you mine?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Jamie answers him.
He's
I mean,
only you.
it's
Only you.
Yeah,
Only
only
you.
He's
you.
seeing
Yeah.
Claire. Only you. He's
Oh,
seeing
you
Claire.
know,
only
He's
you.
hallucinating.
He's delirious. He's delirious. Yeah, he's
He's
hallucinating.
from the
And
pain.
Jack
it just broke my heart.
pulls his hair to make it against Jamie's face, so Jamie thinks it's
Yeah.
a woman he's with. You know. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just
So
that line really. That's another line. I mean, that was absolutely
Mhm.
incredible that
so
they had that
emotional.
line in there because
So
you know.
emotional, definitely.
Oh, it
yes.
is.
what, Diane?
It is,
And the
Diane.
thing is and you know what, Jen? The acting of the cutie pie was absolutely amazing. I will never.
Yeah.
I've
Amazing.
never seen such acting.
I
I
think
mean
it was
It
amazing.
He
No.
is
I
an
guess
amazing
my whole
actor.
what I really made me cry too is the whole thing is after the whole act and he does the whole thing and then Blackjack goes, "How'll she ever forgive you?" I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh no.
That was like
Yeah.
the knife in the heart right there.
Yeah.
How will she
But
ever
the thing is,
You know
the
what?
thing is, it's like what?
But I could really feel Jamie's shame.
Yes.
Yes.
Shame.
Right there,
I
the
can
shame
totally
right there.
understand it. You know, you could really
Well,
He
it's-
put
feel
that.
it's kind of
Put that on purpose
Yeah.
into his
Yes.
brain.
he did.
Yes,
He did.
Branded it.
absolutely.
How will
Yes.
she ever
But
forgive
And
you?
you
Put
know,
another scene,
he
when
really,
they cut
if-
that brand off, that was
if
'cause
you
she
Yes,
kept
that
saying,
was-
what's wrong?
Ooh,
if you
ooh.
And
if
she
you think
saw
about
that-
it, okay,
Yeah.
if you think
that
about
was
it,
emotional.
Jack absolutely hates Claire
Mhm.
and her relationship with him.
Correct.
I mean, he
Very jealous.
when he's so jealous,
Mhm.
right, Jackie?
Very.
And when they get to France and they excuse me, and he appears, at the palace, you can just see
You're talking
it.
about When they're at the
She's
horse sale,
skipping
when they're at the horse
ahead.
sale in
Come
Versailles.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
way
like a
ahead,
couple
way
seasons
ahead,
next season.
way.
Where?
Yeah,
Who's going to
way
France?
ahead.
What are you even
Yeah.
talking about?
But
I have
No,
not
Next
even-
season, Jan.
France.
I'm
Where's
so
that?
confused.
when he shows up, you can just see like the envy and the jealousy
She's ignoring you, Katie.
and the jealousy.
I don't think we can get her. I don't think we can get her back in real time here.
Did I miss something?
You're in season 2, girlfriend.
Yeah, we're still on the last episode. We're still on the last episode of season 1.
You're in like 2 episodes into season 2.
Yeah.
I know where I went. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying.
Thank you for
you know,
joining us. Today we'll be talking about
No.
whatever the heck we decide we're going to talk about.
Oh, heck. It's our
Yeah,
channel.
eventually
Not
we'll
your
get to
channel
the end of
anymore.
Dan's in Paris.
This
right
is
now.
not your channel. It's the Jackie, Cynthia,
My channel.
and Diane
Oh,
channel.
shut up.
And it's not the Katie channel anymore.
Finally,
Yes, it is.
some resources.
Yes.
I would love a raise. Okay, here's what I'd like. I want health
We can do that,
insurance,
yeah.
dental, eye care,
I
at
I
least
just wanna
20 bucks an
pay.
hour.
I just want to be paid. I'm sure Jackie would appreciate.
Well, we can all start our own little streams and all monetize them and try
There
to,
we go.
do something.
There it is.
Everybody's
Took
doing it.
today
It's
here.
all over. Yeah.
I don't
Well,
want
you're a
to.
whiz, so
I don't want to. I
you're-
want Katie to do all the work, and we just appear.
Well, Katie's more fun, yeah.
How about if I do all the work and
We
invite you to
just
join
appear
me every now and then?
magically.
Isn't that what we're doing? That's what we're doing, right? Yeah.
No, I just came up with it.
Okay.
Aren't I smart?
All right, ladies, I'm going to say something really, really upsetting right now. I'm going to say something really gross and upsetting.
What's
Okay.
that?
I unfortunately got turned on by Sam and Tobias lying together on that stupid concrete
Oh,
slab.
goodness gracious.
Don't ask me
Thank you for
why.
sharing that.
They're two
Oh,
beautiful
gosh,
male
too much
bodies.
information.
Two beautiful male.
Too much information.
I told you it was disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't know what it is.
Different light, girlfriend, but not in what was going on.
You know what? I'm going to chalk that up to you cannot control your bodily reactions to things anymore.
No, you
than
can't. You
Jamie could control his bodily reactions.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
Amen,
I'm just
sister.
gonna mark
Amen,
that up
sister.
to that.
Yeah,
Because that's absolutely true. It does not matter.
And that's
What?
kind of
Oh,
what
I got-
they tell. I mean, that's kind of how the
Bodies
premise of
react.
that whole scene is too. He
Yeah,
couldn't help
yeah.
it anymore, and that's what he actually tells Claire. He goes, "I couldn't help myself. It felt good not to be in pain
No.
anymore." And that's
Yes,
what it was.
and
really
if
about.
anybody, and the truth of the matter is have any of you ever been in long-term pain because of an accident, or injury, or surgery before?
Yes,
yeah.
I
Yes.
have been.
Okay, it actually does. When you're in pain, if something that happens to make you feel good, it actually is a relief for a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Totally,
yeah,
totally is. Yes, and that's why I
Yeah.
got what he
So-
meant by that. He's like, totally, I get it.
yeah,
Totally get it.
exactly.
No matter if it's a right or
Yeah.
wrong kind of pleasure, it was
Yeah,
it was not
no.
pain anymore, and that's what he
Yeah.
meant by that,
Well,
and that's why
Yes.
he felt guilty.
and yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
you-
also a little bit of Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome, though,
Yeah.
too.
But you
was-
just have to imagine the pain that Jamie is in. Not
It's
just
incredible. It's
what's
incredible.
happening,
Yeah.
but that hand. Can you imagine
Yeah.
the pain that I mean, if you're
Yeah.
into the show, you can just imagine the
Yeah.
pain that he's going
Correct.
through.
Oh, yeah.
He not only hit the hand, but he put a nail through it. And
Yes.
then rolling around and all that dirt and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
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 Oh my God. It was
Yeah.
overwhelming.
I still take him, even if he was dirty.
What?
Oh,
What, Jen?
yeah.
Hey,
What?
hey, me and Jan talked about that. I don't know how Sam can look gorgeous dirty, but he does. I don't
He
care.
looks gorgeous. I don't. Speaking
Yeah.
speaking of gorgeous, that shift he wears when he's getting healed in the monastery, that stupid little white shift. That's one of the sexiest things I've ever seen him.
You
I
don't
know.
What's going on?
Well,
I
when-
know.
when
I mean-
he went
According
to
to
the
the death,
wagon-
the dude's fine.
Dude's fine.
to the wagon, somebody said he reeked or something. So you can imagine.
Lavender.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lavender.
Oh, that was the lavender. That's
The
what it
lavender.
is.
Yeah, that was the lavender.
You know,
So
Yeah.
we don't got that much time, so we're gonna talk about the end,
Yeah.
which I really
So,
enjoyed the whole
yeah,
conversation
I did
between him and
too.
Claire.
Oh God, yes, that was the best part. That was the best part of the show.
Amazing. Katrina
That
did
was
an amazing
pivotal.
job.
She did. They both did.
Oh,
Yeah.
he just didn't want her to be around him anymore. He goes, I can't be your
No.
husband. I can't be your husband anymore.
Oh, I know,
Now that
that
I've made
was
love
so
with a man,
terrible.
I can't do that with you anymore. It's kind of
Because he felt less. He felt less.
because he felt less, or he felt guilty.
Yes.
He felt shame. All of that. I
Yeah.
want to touch you, but
Yeah.
I feel shameful. I mean, he just couldn't even do it. She
And
goes,
I
I
like
have
the
no
way-
way I can. How do you
And
have
what
me like
happened-
this?
And what
I like the
happened
way Claire
right
did it.
after
I'm
that?
sorry. She didn't like put on a pity party for him. She was just talking
No.
to him how much she loved
Well,
him.
she knew.
Never said, I'm so sorry what happened to you and everything.
Yeah,
That's not her style.
she knew
That's
him.
not her style.
Well,
you know?
the title is to save the man's soul, right?
Save the
Yeah.
man's soul.
So then,
And that's what she was doing.
So
Ransom,
then-
thank you, Ransom, my man's soul. Yeah.
we gotta finish this,
Okay.
guys. So then the next thing basically is Claire. She kind of loses it, and she's like, if you die, I am going to
I will die.
right
Mhm.
here."
Die with you. Yes.
And that's the only
that's what
thing that
not
he
so
cares
young.
about. Yeah,
And how
that's the
many-
only thing that
and
he
how
cares.
And when she
How many
says
times
that,
has she said
his
that
hand
before?
comes around and
When,
Uh-huh.
hugs her.
when
you
did
know.
she say that before? Again to him. When he was telling her to leave, she said, I will stay here and die with you. At Collage.
Yes,
When
yeah.
he was telling her to leave. she
Yeah,
said the same
yeah.
thing. I will stay here and die with you. And
That's-
Well, that was later. Once again, you're skipping ahead to several episodes.
That's a whole season right there.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
So that's 10 minutes. Okay, so Claire says, I'll die, and he doesn't.
Yes.
Of course, doesn't want that. So he responds to her, and then they start. Then they decide that they're going to go to Paris.
Yeah,
and
France, yeah.
Murtaugh talks about getting a
He's
boat.
gonna get a ship.
Right.
Mhm.
Ship.
Yep, they got the boat.
And I have some information about the ship. I don't know if you guys maybe have heard this. Jackie, I know a lot
It's
of
a real
you
ship.
your stuff. But
It was,
they-
yeah, it was used.
well, so they used the ship from Black Sails,
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
and it
Yeah.
was down it was in Spain
hmm
where the ships were. And I thought
Mhm.
that was really cool. I mean, it was a real ship. It was not
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the green screen or anything.
No, that was a real ship.
Oh,
I just
No,
thought
but-
that was,
They had to sail it down to where they were filming.
Yeah.
But the background was green screen. The background was all green screen. If you've
No,
ever
it
seen the
wasn't.
shooting,
Not on
yeah.
the ship, it
Uh-huh.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Not on that.
They actually had a
not-
drone
Hey,
camera.
Second season.
film
Katie?
that.
No,
Katie?
second season is all green screen. First season ships.
Okay,
First season was
okay.
not.
Float on the
All
water,
right.
Sky.
That was
I must
all
be
water
watching- I was watching-
and a flyby camera that took that. That was real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Cool.
I just
Okay.
thought
Well,
that was really cool because usually in our shows,
that's what Jackie and Katie are saying. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That
you
was
know,
real.
because usually our shows, to have a big ship like that, you don't get that kind of thing. So I
Yeah,
just
but
thought that was
because-
really cool.
Because it was Black Sails, which is also so they
Yes,
were able to
a
do
Stars
other
production.
movies,
Yeah,
basically.
Stars.
Right,
Mhm.
filming that.
Yeah.
That was filming
Yeah.
then at that
Yeah.
time.
They
Right.
sailed
you
that
seen
down to
that
where they
show?
could film with it.
It's really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Black Sails
yeah.
is really good.
I have not. I'm going to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. My brother loves it. My brother loves it.
That's
Yeah,
why
well, I will.
started, like got
Great
5 or
show.
6 episodes in, and then something else happened, and I have to come back. To
Yeah,
it.
I
can't
know.
remember
I
the
know. I hate
beginning
that.
And start from the beginning.
Okay.
Great. It's
Okay. Let's get back. Let's get back because we've got only a few
Outlander,
minutes
yeah.
left. Yeah.
Okay, so
so
we're gonna.
so we
they
get.
wanna,
Oh.
talk about the future. Jamie.
No, let's go back up, Jan. I want to get to the scene on the beach.
It's cute.
The scene on the beach
They
when they're
finally
saying
did
goodbye.
funny, a
It
little
is
bit of
very
funny.
cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh my
That's
god!
cute.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Yeah.
Angus.
Angus, he comes in for a kiss, puts his hands right on her tits. It's like, Jesus, man.
That was great.
It cracked me up.
That was cute. They had to get a little funny out of there because this whole thing was so.
I think so. Yeah,
it's the end of this.
It's pretty heavy.
Have you guys seen the kids
What
of
Drew-
Angus and
What?
the other guy?
Yeah, they're gonna be in Blood of My Blood.
Yes,
They look
yeah,
so much like their dads. It's so
That
cute.
happens.
yeah,
That happened.
yeah.
So cute.
Well,
Crazy, man.
okay, so let's jump to the scene on the boat with Jamie and
We're on a
Claire, since
boat.
we've only got
We're
7
on a
minutes
boat.
left.
Love
And
it.
Jamie's
We're
not
on the boat.
showing up yet.
But Claire is almost.
We're on the boat, and they start talking. Jamie and her start
Yeah.
talking about how they can affect
The future. What are we going to do? Yeah. And the thing is that you can see Jamie is back. You can see Jamie is healing.
He's trying to heal.
He's trying to heal. He says, what does he say? I'll make sure, I'll take care of it, or I'll make sure, or something.
Right.
Well, she
That
says
line he
it's getting your sense of humor back.
You're back. He
Yeah.
goes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
I'll
And
make
then
sure of
she,
it.
yeah, that's it. I'll make sure of it.
I'll
And
make
then
sure of it.
then she tells him she's pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah.
And are you happy? And he says didn't
course.
think he'd ever be able to say it.
Ever be?
Yes, he
Mm-mm.
is.
Yes, he is.
You know,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a really long time for him not to be like showing happiness. That was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were all like, we took a breath in, everybody that's a fan, when she said that she was pregnant, and and then it took him forever, to show his happiness.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of a strange.
Well, it was kind of a shock. He thought she couldn't have children, and then
Right.
Yeah.
And then he says that.
Right.
I thought you couldn't do that.
Yes.
yeah.
And now we know
and
it's
she
not
did.
her.
No,
We figured
and we
that
know,
out,
we
right?
know. Yeah,
Now
we
we
know
know.
in the future that it's Frank.
That's
It's Frank that was sterile. Yeah, yeah.
right.
Yes.
And plus, you think about it, he has
Oh.
all this pain stacked up. That good news
Uh-huh.
had to worm its way past all the agony.
Some-
that's just
yes,
surrounding
yes.
him right
Yeah.
now.
Yes, and he was
He'll
still
work
in
through
pain.
it, but-
That pain,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
that pain didn't go away right away. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And one thing I want to say: the special effects department did one of the most incredible jobs of showing my life. I have never seen anything that well done as far as special effects on his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all.
You know,
And the
There's so-
surgery.
it was
surgery.
it was gruesome, but it was well
that
done.
It was well done.
And-
yeah.
And once again, the whole
Lighting, the whole thing
this
was extraordinary.
everything, the scenes, yes, the set
Yes.
design, everything in the prison, especially.
You
I mean, the
felt
bleakness
solitary
of it.
all.
The rats, the bleakness, the
Unbelievable.
damp.
And then let the dude
It
sitting in the corner dead. How long was the dude sitting in the
And
corner
The
dead?
entire time.
Would you not
Couple of
get rid
days.
of that?
Couple of days.
Yeah.
Still sitting in the corner dead.
The rats were eating him.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'm like, how would you even want to be with the man and you still have a dude sitting in the corner dead? How did you not get rid?
Well,
I mean,
Unromantic
probably-
is that, people?
I want this to be.
Here, have fun, have sex.
Yeah, right. Yeah, after I smashed your hand to smithereens and yeah. Oh, by the way, Katie, this is off topic.
Okay.
What's new?
Sorry.
That works. I don't think that movie's real. I heard about it in 2022 too. I have not heard of.
Yeah, I don't think that's real.
When
I don't
people
think it's
share
real.
stuff with me, I like to pop it up.
I know.
And then I'll say,
I know.
keep an eye on this. That way, I'm not going, this is a lie, it's phony. I'm putting it there. And then when nothing turns up, or if we look around and it was something that was talked about but never picked up, then we can
I've done an
report on it.
extensive search. There's nothing. I've done an extensive search. The last
Yeah, I
thing was
couldn't find it
2022.
either.
That tomorrow.
Nothing. And I think I commented on their scammer alert. I think I put scammer alert in all caps under that. Because that's
Honestly,
what I do.
when things like that have that many emojis for their
Mhm.
points, it's usually
Hmm.
baloney.
Yeah.
But again,
Crap. Yeah.
I wanted to go through and be like, okay, is this something? Especially since it said 2022 is when they were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just,
Well, they
yeah,
were. I remember that.
2025, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, the other
I don't
the other
hear
thing is this
anything. Maybe
movie.
I missed something.
But you know what? The Last of Us has been done. The Last of Us has been done and done well. You know, Walking Dead has been done and done well. Why do we need another apocalyptic movie? Like we don't. It's a
We don't.
freaking game.
But
We
at any
don't.
rate,
And it's just I thank you for putting stuff up. I'm glad.
I try.
But
I try. But
I
I'd
know.
rather us talk about it and go, you know what? Nobody's found
Yeah.
anything. It's probably crap. And that's what I'll tell people tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
As
That's
long
okay.
as
It's not a
nobody,
big
yeah,
deal.
cool.
Well,
You know what is a
besides the
big
fact that
deal?
we're starving for Sam. Other than that.
You know what's a big deal is
That this
Macbeth.
was our final
Oh
chat for
yes.
this first season.
Yeah,
That is a big
Macbeth.
deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Macbeth.
Okay. Yeah,
We're
Macbeth. I
nearly
can't
done,
wait.
and I don't
We're,
want to get you guys cut off on our last
okay.
chat.
Okay. Our last
And I
chat.
know you're not the only ones who have joined me, but this has been so much fun. So thanks so much for being, really entertaining and fun to chat with. And so I'm gonna do all the
Thank
rest
you,
of the
Katie.
seasons. No,
Yeah.
don't thank me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because if I could pay you, I would, but I can barely pay me, so I can't pay
No,
you other than thanks.
I was
No.
totally kidding.
No. I don't need money. I need love.
Ah,
Wait,
Do I need to
I'm
send you a
just
list
gonna.
of what I want to do for next season?
Oh, good idea, Jackie. Would you copy
Right?
me on that, please? Copy me on that, please.
I need to send Katie a list of what I want to be on next
Yeah,
season, right?
send me a
Next
list.
season.
Could,
I have one episode filled already for season 2. So if
which
you want
one?
to
Which
have,
one? Which
I'm not
one?
going to get to it at the end of here. I'll make sure I say so tomorrow, okay? Because we're going
Okay.
to get cut
Okay.
off, and I don't want to be rude.
Okay.
I'll
I
say
know.
something we've
Yeah.
gotten done.
Do we need to
Thank
send
you.
what we want to do for Blood on My Blood?
Peace.
Sure. Start
Peace.
sending those. I'll get that figured out too.
so
What?
are
Okay.
She keeps asking us to send her
you
stuff.
going
You
to do
know.
this with
Okay.
blood of my blood?
Send me
I'll send you stuff,
cash.
Bill.
Send me requests for
You can send me some cash.
episodes.
Send me some
Cash
Send
is
me a
good.
Jeep
Send me
Wrangler.
Sam. I'll be happy if you send me Sam.
Peace, everybody. Peace and
Bye.
love.
Love you all.
So
Thank you
Love you
so
guys.
much.
Katie,
Bye.
All right. That actually wasn't timed too badly, except I think I got Jan cut off. Jan, just email me. Let me know what it is you wanted to say. Guys, if you missed it before, want to say again that I'm going to be talking to this woman who looks kind of fierce in here. She is Gina Hubble. She is the runner of the gathering at Sassenach City, the Outlander convention that I've been talking about. She's also going to be hosting one called The Vow. That is going to be our prequel convention, and that first one is going to take place this September, and I believe tickets are on sale right now. She and I are going to have a little chat a week from tonight, 9 p.m. on the 23rd. Make sure that if you have any questions and you don't think you're going to be here, to include them here under this episode review, because this is where I am going to look. I am not going to be searching all over the place. I want to centralize it. So any questions here, right here, okay? All right. I hope that makes it easy on everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to every single one of you who have been involved in any of these Outlander episode chat and reviews. It has been so much fun listening to your point of view, calling me out on things that I completely missed. I've so enjoyed to hear each of your point of views. I know I don't always get to all of the comments, but I really do go through them, and I appreciate you guys' thoughts as we're chatting. I go back and I crack up. I really do. Y'all have great conversations on your own on the side here. Yeah, give this a like if you enjoyed this episode. If there's a way to give the playlist a like, I would do that too. But I have no idea if you can. Give this chat a like. Give it a thumbs down. If you desperately hated it and had to listen for a whole hour against your will, I'm not sure why. But either way, give me a comment down below. Again, include those questions. Let me know what you thought about the chats for the first season. Yeah, and thanks to my members so much for your continued support. Thanks to those of you who have donated to my car fund separately. This has been a great venture for this series of reviews, and I hope that it's inspired you to help me keep something up after Outlander is over, because we do have that last season that we now believe will premiere next year. Am I forgetting anybody? I might be. Thanks to anybody who contributes to my updates. And it is Monday, so tomorrow I will see you live at 12 p.m. Probably Wednesday too. Who knows? We'll see what I find, what I dig up. If you find something fun you'd like me to share, don't forget to send it to me on Instagram. It's the easiest way for me to get it. But you could also hit me up, Katie at katiescornerinspace.com. And occasionally I remember to check my Facebook messenger as well. But send it to me. I'll do my best to share it with everybody else. Till tomorrow, have a really great night. Thanks again for joining me. This is just so much fun. I enjoy you guys so much.